So you know what time it is? It's garlic and onion time. It's that late middle fall, mid to late fall, coming on winter, getting these onions and garlic in the ground. So I got 2 rows right here. I've dug a 3rd row, but I don't have anything to put in there at the moment. So this will probably be consecutive planting in the spring. When I start pulling these, I'll have a trench here for the fresh ones in the spring, and then I'll have these coming in earlier. So one variety of red, one variety of sweet. And then over here, same deal. I planted this before I top dressed the gardens, and this is both white and sweet, the same varieties as over there, and another prepared trench for consecutive planting. And then up here on this wall, I pulled a string, and I've got, actually, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got 3 rows. This is going to be the garlic. I'm getting ready to go in right now and start separating those garlic heads and start planting them out before it rains. It's supposed to rain within the hour. First time in a while. Okay, here we are with the garlic. So this is one of my favorite methods to start them, just in a glass container, sitting on some marbles, and then fill the water up just to the bottom of the garlic, like you would do a bulb, like a hyacinth bulb or something, or a avocado pit or whatever. You're suspending it right on top of the water. I end up getting rot. You'll see when I pull these out. I'll show you another. But anyway, these in here, these 6 in these 2 containers right here are German red. Those are German hardy. These right here, I'm actually growing those in sand. Just wanted to try it. It's the first time I ever did that, and it did all right, but I had to keep putting a lot more water in here. It was evaporating really quickly, and you can see I've got kind of a no starter here, or a slow starter. And then these right here are my elephant garlic, and you can see here it only had 2 of the bulbs producing some fruit. So I'll still break these up and possibly plant some of these. You can see some of them are rotted, but here's the deal. We take them out. They're wrapped up in the marbles, and there you go. And then a lot of times the marble will get stuck up in these roots, and you got to peel them out. So I'm going to put these in my handy basket over here. And since I only have a few of these, I'm going to put those in the middle. Make sure we didn't. See, we do have a few roots on the bottom of that one, but you also, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a lot of sliminess going on here from the skin. So in the future, I think I'm going to try to peel more of this skin off and get these down to like a bare, sprout. I don't know, a bare bulb. And that way we'll have less rot. They'll probably do much better. So I'm going to separate these. Go ahead and do that now here. So see, that one looks like it's got a root growing on it. Here's another one with a root growing on it. Barely anything, but I'm going to get rid of all that paper. Get rid of that yuck. Normally, I don't try to get all the paper off of them. That one looks like it's one of the best. I still think these are doable. These are just soft and squishy. No squishy. All right, let's get rid of that. Looks like we're down to a couple of roots here on this guy. Get this rot away from him. Nothing really going on here. Oh, this guy's got a little root coming out maybe. Nope. All right. So same deal. Let's do this a little rapidly as we can, because we've got a lot of them to do. Bust them all up, see what we got, get rid of this paper. Now these are ready to go right when we get in the garden, instead of having to do this out there. So let's look at a nice one. See that? Here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants that we're going to end up with out of this set of bulbs. Now, these roots are kind of twisted up with each other. See? So we want to be a little gentle and just kind of tease them out of there. Try not to rip those roots. The idea here is we're just trying to get the roots established before winter so that I'll have a head start in the spring. So there's that. These will go dormant and sleep most of the winter, and hopefully the ground doesn't freeze hard and they don't get wiped out. But that's that. Got those. All right, so I'm going to finish these up real quick here, and then we'll pick back up out in the garden. So I wanted to point out one more thing. This is what this looks like when we take it out of the marbles or the sand, breaking it up into, on average, 6 to 7 individual plants. So that's how we're going to plant these out in the garden. I'd also like to note that this is the first time I said that I've used sand, and I won't do it again because it leaves a heck of a mess in the sink after you have to rinse them all off, and then you got sand everywhere. Where the marbles, they all stay in there and you come out with nice clean plants to work with and go straight to the garden. So I've got all these. I'm just got to finish breaking these two down, and then I'll be out in the garden. Okay, we've got the rows done, 3 rows. We've got German Hardy, Elephant, and German Red. German Hardy is the one we're planting the most of. Our rows right now I'm planting on about 6 inches apart, so it maybe can't see in the picture, but there's actually 3 rows 6 inches apart. So I'm just going to start plugging these in, starting on the end of the row, and then put them in, push them down a little as far as I can with my hand at 6-inch intervals. So I'm just going to eyeball that and just start plugging these guys in every 6 inches, and I'm going to go all the way down this row. Before I move, I'm doing because I want 3 rows of 3 kinds. I got these in the right order: 1, first row; 2, second row; 3, third row. And actually, I think I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to put these at the top because they're not going to make it all the way to the end. So I'm going to run these up here. There's that. Start of that row. Now I just got to keep track. So we're going to go. Before I move down, I want to get as much as I can reach from all 3. And if it's not obvious to you, we want the green part sticking up. Got one that I didn't separate there. You know, I'm not liking the soil up there. And since these, I want the ones I have the most of to do the best, so I think I'm going to reverse my idea there. I'm going to come on down here, move these into the middle so they got the better soil. 2 of my favorite garlics. And then I'll put the elephant up top, and I might have to give it a little bit more boost. Or maybe I'll plant it with the onions. Back to this side. Alright, you get the idea. So we're just going to go down the row every 6 inches and stick them in there as much as we can. Once I get these in position, like I have now, in the rows side by side, all I'm going to do is take my hand and push this soil back over the top of those in this direction, and I'm going to take the middle and push it in both directions. Keep these guys, get them as upright as possible. Like them to grow straight. And there you go. Moving on down. I'll be back. So here you go. I got all the garlic all laid out in their trenches and figured out who's who. So I ended up having to add this 4th row right here because I had so many of the German Red. So their German Hardy. I did it again. Their red skins make you think it's German Red, but it's German Hardy. The German Red actually don't have red skins, and they're in the middle. And then the elephant, they're on this outside row here. So the elephant only goes about halfway. It goes to about here, on down this way. The German Red is a perfect trench fill right there. And then the German Hardy is down and then back up to here. So it looks like I could have put my elephant in the same row here and only used 3 rows, but it is what it is. So this outside edge here and this backside edge over here will eventually be filled with greens of some kind. We'll have kale and Brussels sprouts and broccoli and cauliflower and lots of lettuces all around the garlic. The garlic will grow tall in the middle, and it's in there for a while, so it'll be it's in the middle where it's out of reach. Don't need to be doing anything reaching in there for a couple weeds here or there, and that can be done with a stirrup hoe now that they are distanced correctly. So we'll come back at once we're finished. All right, we're done. We're done here. The garlic is in the ground. I've got the 4 rows. That's down to the little shoots coming up here, and we'll watch those grow a good bit more before winter gets here, and then we'll mulch those over with some straw or mulch that we will scrape off. The onions also are planted and healed in, and these onions. So we'll see you in another video where we can look at the growth there, and we'll do some seed trays with lettuces and some greenery, and hopefully get this greenhouse start to be more like a greenhouse instead of a frame. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'm trying to grow this channel, bring you more tips on how to grow your own food. Just like my boys down south in South Georgia. Haas Tools. They rock. Inspiring.